What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going over the price action on Nasdaq 100. It's the 26th of November. Today is a Wednesday. Pretty much no trades for me. I didn't get any chance to even glance at the chart today during the trading day. I think I took, well, let me not say. I took one trade in the morning before I left out for work because I really didn't trade London. And I just went break even, got stopped out, and I just left it at that. So we're pretty much at the end of the month, and this is what the monthly candle looks like. So we have like one more trading day left to go for the end of the month, and that would be Friday. So tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and the markets will be closed. I know the future is going to move a little bit, but that's pretty much it for the month. Friday, not expecting much either. The weekly candle already ran the previous weekly high. Thought it would have been an inside week, but came up and tagged the high today, and still pretty much closed below it. But strong close nevertheless, because on this daily candle, we close with less than 25% weak compared to the body of the candle. So going into the price action, we gapped up, not much of a pullback, and then we just continued up. So going into the lower time frame, I'm not even going to look at the 4-hour chart and the um let me look at the 4-hour chart and this one. The 4-hour chart and this. So let me actually remove this. So all of this is today's price action. So starting around here, up, down, and then up and close right around here. So we're gone about 2.5 hours out of the new day, which are going to be just a done. So looking at the price action on the 1 hour time frame, so like I said, we started the day right around here when we opened up, and we just pretty much went up, traded sideways for a bit, and then we just made us a dash for the hills during the day, and that was pretty much it. So going into the price action today, so like I said, out the bat, let me find it here. Out the bat, we opened up right here. Not much of a gap up, but the first macro at 7. I don't count the one at 6. That's when we pretty much reopened. So opened up 7, gave us a nice little buy, and this was the low of the day. So this was the low of the day here, and we just traded all the way up. So this gave us a nice little buy entry during this macro right here, right around 7 7 7 to 7:10, and we traded up, continued move sideways during the 8 a.m. by 8, couple minutes after 8. Nice little pullback here, sideways movement really during Asia. We just continued to buy up during the 9, sideways again, buy up. I didn't even mark out the one for 10 and 11, but just sideways movement gave us a nice little pullback right here. This is around 11:45 there about, and by the time we get to 12, we're off again to the races. So Frankfurt session started around here and we had this nice little buy opportunity. Nice little buy at the end of the macro here, sent us higher, gave a nice little pullback, sideways movement here. So this macro, this ICT macro, I think this is 203 to 233. Nice little buy here. London gave us a nice little push after consolidating, so we just based out, then shut up. I think we ran some type of high here, some internal high that we ran here before we started to pivot. So the London silver bullet gave us one entry inside of here. Nice to buy down here from this same order block. And then now we also had a sell from up here, this little level right here that took us below. So we ran this low in Asia and we didn't quite make it all the way down to take out the Asia lows. This was the low right here. So this was the low before we went back up. So during this macro, this is around 4 in the morning. We got a nice little buy opportunity here. Didn't go for much either. Sideways movement in this one. And we just ran this little internal high before pulling back. I think I took a buy somewhere inside of here. I think I took a buy inside of here, went up into profit here, and I think this came back to stop me out. Then I saw we came up here, then we dropped. Was off our work right around here. This macro would have been the 7 to 710, 650 to 710 macro. Nice little sell off. I think we had some type of little news release here and consolidated before we managed to base out and rally higher. By the time we get to 8 o'clock, sideways movement again, and then we made a nice little push. Getting to 9 o'clock, this macro didn't produce much. We ran this high, then we sold back down to this order block here, and then we rallied up. New York Open gave us this nice little push up here before we came back down, and you know the volatility at 9 a.m. and at 9:30 at the NYSE Open. So that right there was the result of it. Then at the 10 a.m., this was when the new 4-hour candle opened. So 10 a.m. would have been, let me see, 10 a.m. would have been right here. So 9:50 to 10:10 macro, 10 a.m. candle opened down here, rallied up, came back down. Little bit of a manipulation. Could have gotten an entry inside here, if not right around here. Or you could have used this breaker here, or we form this other block and right around 11 o'clock. You could have gotten an entry inside this 10 o'clock candle. And this was the main move for the day after the little chop face inside of here. So this macro, the 1150, the 1050 I mean to 1110 macro gave us a nice little buy, sending us higher, and that was the cleanest move for the day. That was, I would like to say, 200, 150 points, once 160 points before we had a little pullback, a little sell from this fear value gap here, this sell down here came down, and then we had this buy also during this macro, to send us higher. Lunchtime sideways movement, and that was pretty much it for the day in terms of clean moves. So lunchtime, during lunchtime, we had a little sell coming back down to here. coming back down to here. Then by the time we get into the New York PM session, PM silver bullet didn't really do much. A little pullback here before we bought back up, and just pretty much sideways movement. You could have caught some scalps before we ended the day, and that is pretty much how we ended. A little less, a little less of a high volatile day today, but there were some nice moves. So the market is now basically in holiday mode. We had 200 and I think it's roughly 300 points on this market from the high to the low. 200, 300, yeah, right around 300 points from the high. From the low to the high of the day, and that is pretty much how we ended the day. So that is pretty much it for today's video. No trading tomorrow, half day Friday, so that is pretty much it for the week. Until next time, I will catch you guys. Peace.